Morning, Christian. Morning, Kit.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Folks, hear me all right? Good, cool.
Yes, sir.
And is there going to be any changes from the agenda that's posted online on the website?
I don't believe so. No.
Because that's what I'm from.
That's what I'm looking at. I've never done one of these ones before. Formals on Zoom. No, it's like old times for most of you guys.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, it's going back a bit. Hey, Kit, I was just going to say, when you get to agenda item I-8, I can provide a little bit of context as to why we needed to repeal and then approve it as an ordinance.
Okay. So eight and nine are related then, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I'll open it up. Opening the formal Yamaha County Board of Commissioners formal session December 18th at 10 a.m. And at this time, I'm just going to lead us all in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under
Under
God,
indivisible, with liberty and
and justice for all.
thank you for that. Is there any changes to our calendar session coming up?
None.
Commissioner Sterry, are you good?
Everything is fine.
Uh, Chair, if I may, I believe Bailey put out an email. We had a notification from Senator Merkley's office about a town hall. And I'm trying to remember the next time, if that happens before the next time we have a formal session or not, but if any commissioners are intending to or wanting to join that, let us know. You can email Bailey and then we'll handle the RSVP and get that on the joint calendar for that week.
I
Internally, I'd
RSVP'd.
say internally, I guess I'd say go ahead and put it on there. I don't know if I can make it. I got a couple of things that are overlapping with that, but I would put it on just in case my calendar clears.
Can do.
At this time, I'm going to ask that the commissioners have seen the public comments that were submitted. It looks like there was one. And then if there's anybody online, please raise your virtual hand now. And I want to see if I can see that here. Go to these. Looks like we have one public comment from Keith Stewart. Do you guys want to promote him, please? Keith, go ahead. I see he's unmuted, but we do not hear Keith.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yep, we can hear you now, Keith. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry,
Nathan?
my intent was not to make a public comment. I'm here representing community justice, and I'm just letting Jessica know when we get close so she can step out of a meeting and be ready to speak with you if you have any questions when we get to that point in the agenda. So I was just raising my hand to let you know I was here and hoping you could see me. This is my first Zoom meeting. So
Yep, I appreciate that very much. Thanks, Keith.
thank you.
Chair, if I may, since
Yeah.
Keith is on the line, I just want to say a shout out to you and to your office and to the folks who are regularly interfacing with some of the most challenging members of our community. And I want to thank you. I recently was had a nice meeting with you guys, and I was very impressed. So thank you, since you're here.
Well, thank you very much, and we appreciate your support.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Moving on, I don't see any other hands raised, so we're going to move on to item E, which is department updates. There is none. F is work session. There's none. G is consent agenda. It looks like we have a couple items on there. Some weight limits on roads. Some speed limits finally on North Valley. That's good. And some minutes. I would move to approve. Is there any further discussion?
Done.
None. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. H is old business. We have one. H1 is consideration of approval of a board order in the matter of upholding the planning director's decision to approve planning docket C01-25 conditional use permit for the operation of a loss mitigation business as a home occupation, tax lot 4401-2300, applicant Isidro Javier Sija. Move approval. Any further discussion?
I'd move approval.
Motion's been made. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I think I heard Commissioner King say aye.
Where's my hand?
Yep. Okay. Passes unanimously. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to I, which is other business. I1 is consideration of approval of a revised fee schedule for the assessor's office effective January 1, 2026. I would move approval. Is there any further discussion on that?
No.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. I2, consideration of approval of amendment number 1 to grant agreement number 35711 between Yamhill County and the Oregon Department of Transportation, correcting the number of category E1 vehicles to 3 and the number of seats to 9, retroactive to March 7, 2025 through March 9, 2026.
I'd move approval.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Item I3 is consideration of approval of an agreement between Yamhill County and Bent LLC for construction of the North Hill Road Bridge Maintenance Project in the amount of $176,675, effective upon issuance of notice to proceed through June 30, 2026, and to rescind Board Order 25-384. Was there a mix-up on this, Ken, or is Mark online, or is he's probably buried right now?
Yeah.
You got a little background on this, Ken?
I don't have any background on this.
The little bit that I've heard is that the previous adoption of the agreement may have been worded as a notice of intent to award instead of an award of the contract. So I believe that's why that previous board order has been repealed, and then this was placed back on the agenda as the approval of the actual contract, just to clarify the record.
I do know that it was, so we are. I would make a motion to approve item I3. Is there any further discussion?
No.
None.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item I4 is consideration of approval of an agreement between Yamhill County Health and Human Services and Hayworth Inc. for the Behavioral Health Community Restoration Housing Project funded through House Bill 5202 in the not to exceed amount of $1,400,345, effective upon full execution through December 31st, 2026.
Sure, I would move approval, and just as a point, wanted to say that Haworth has done close to 30 projects for us, everywhere from the jail to the clerk's office to various housing projects. And this is going to be a game changer for folks who are really hard to house. So I move approval.
Agreed. Thank you for that. And they always come in very reasonable for us. If there's no further discussion, hearing
Very
none.
excited.
All right. Yep. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Aye.
passes unanimously. Thank you. Item I5 is consideration of approval of an amendment to a real estate lease agreement between Yamhill County Health and Human Services and the Housing Authority of Yamhill County, Board Order 09-617, increasing the amount from $3,873.52 to $3,982.37 per month, retroactive to November 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2026.
Chair, I move approval.
Motion's been made. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Commissioner King, you want to give that one more shot?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item I6 is consideration. Yep, making sure I'm on the right one. I6, consideration of a request for transfer of $500,000 from HHS Fund 216 Capital Improvement Fund 440 for the purchase of the former IT offices at 636 Northeast 7th Street and 626 Northeast 7th Street, McMinnville. Ken, why don't you give us just a quick little summary on that?
Yeah, so this is related to the same project under I4. So this is recognition. We're using grant funds to purchase the two houses instead of putting it on the market to sell, to use those properties. And so we worked on this number and put this together. So this is going to be a budgetary transfer to recognize the purchase of those two houses to accommodate that project.
I would move approval.
Motion's been made. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. I'm very looking forward to this project, and it's great that we can do this on property that we already own. Moving on to item I7's consideration of approval to provide intent to award to Hayworth Inc. for construction services at the Government Services Building. Do you have any background that you want to give us on this, Ken?
Yeah, so we just wrapped up. This is part of an invitation to bid, a procurement process for construction services to do construction within the Government Services Building to accommodate the last few departments being able to move in. As it is an ITB or an invitation to bid, we went with low bid, and Hayworth came in as the low bidder on this project at just over 1.5 million.
Perfect. I would make a motion to approve. Is there any further discussion?
None.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. And another project that I'm sure we all are looking for. Item I8, repeal of board order 25-378, approval of a board order and findings in the matter of approving on remand planning docket number PAZ 01-24/S-03-24, a comprehensive plan amendment and approval of a 14-lot subdivision for tax lot number R4418010000, applicant John Abrams. Christian, you got a couple things you want to add to this?
Yeah, I can provide a little bit of context. Originally, these findings should have been adopted in the form of an ordinance because it is an amendment to the comprehensive plan. So that's what this initial request is that you repeal the previous board order, and then we'll be readopting the same findings or asking the board to consider readoption of the same findings under item I9 as an ordinance.
I would move approval. Is there any further discussion?
None.
None.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. That brings us to I9 is consideration of approval of an ordinance in the matter of a comprehensive plan amendment from agricultural/forestry large holding to very low density residential district, and a zoning map amendment from EF80 to VLDR1 with exemptions to statewide planning goal 2, exemption process, goal 3, agricultural lands, goal 4, forest lands, and goal 14, urban development and undeveloped rural lands, and the transportation planning rule, and approving planning docket number PAZ 01-24/S-03-24, request for approval of a 14-lot subdivision for tax lot number R4418010000, applicant John Abrams, and declaring an emergency. I would move approval. Is there any further discussion?
None.
Well, Mr. Chair, as an ordinance, we actually have to go through the first and the second reading. And then if we have a unanimous vote, then this can be approved as an emergency. So unless I hear any objection from the board at this time, I would go ahead and have the first reading of this proposed ordinance.
Is there any objection?
None.
Okay.
None.
In the matter of a comprehensive plan amendment for agriculture, forestry, large holding to very low density residential district, and a zoning map amendment from EF80 to VLDR1 with exceptions to statewide planning goal 2, exception process, goal 3, agricultural lands, goal 4, forest lands, and goal 14, urban development on undeveloped rural lands, and the transportation planning rule, and approving planning docket number PAZ-01-24/S-03-24, request for approval of a 14-lot subdivision for tax lot number R4418010000, applicant John Abrams, and declaring an emergency. Is there any further discussion?
None.
Okay, if not, I'll go ahead and have the second reading. in the matter of a comprehensive plan amendment from agriculture, forestry, large holding to very low density residential district and a zoning map amendment from EF 80 to VLDR 1 with exceptions to statewide planning goal 2, exception process goal 3, agricultural lands, goal 4, forest lands, and goal 14, urban development on undeveloped rural lands, and the transportation planning rule, and approving planning docket number PAZ-01-24/S-03-24, request for approval of a 14-lot subdivision for tax lot number R441801000, applicant John Abrams, and declaring an emergency. And this, if it's approved, would be ordinance number 943. So now, if there was any further discussion, it's time for the board to do that before taking a vote.
Is there any further discussion?
None.
None from me.
I would make a motion to approve I-9 and declaring an emergency. Is there, if there's no further discussion, I'd take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes, Christian.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item I-10's consideration of ratification of the 2025-28 collective bargaining agreement between Yamhill County and the Federation of Oregon Parole Probation Officers, FOPO.
I'd move approval.
Motion's been made. Is there any further discussion? Christian, do you
None.
want a little
Yeah,
background?
and this is the matter for which Keith is here in case the board would like to hear from him. But yeah, glad to report that we've managed to reach agreement on a new 3-year collective bargaining agreement with the FOPO group within the bounds of the authority that the commissioners had previously given us. My understanding from their attorney is they've voted to ratify this. We don't have the signed copy back from them yet, but I will make sure we have that before we add our signatures. But yeah, glad to report that we have a new contract with that unit.
All right, I appreciate the work on both sides. That's fantastic. Motion's been made. Is there any further discussion?
None.
None. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. We are going to move on to now item I-11 is consideration of extending provisions of the 2025-28 FOPO collective bargaining agreement to non-bargaining employees of all the Department of Community Justice.
I move approval.
Motion's been made. Any further discussion?
None.
None from me.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's see here. That brings us to J's public hearings. There is none. K's announcements. I'll just kick us off because mine are super quick. Parks Board was canceled. Fair Board was canceled. I had a quick meeting yesterday or the day before with Council of Governments. Well, quick. It actually was supposed to be quick and it ended up a little over 2 hours. Tried doing that sitting in a theme park. I feel better every meeting that we have financially where COG is going to be sitting. There's been some interesting prior managers of the COG. There's been some interesting ways to basically float costs within COG by using some defederalized money from a revolving loan fund. There's nothing illegal about it. It's just the board really wasn't 100% clear on what they're doing. And if this is prior boards, it's been going on for a while. So we're cleaning all that up. And it sounds like we're on pretty decent footing. We still need to really kind of hone in on really the basics of what COG is there for. And we've put a hiring freeze on so that we're not spending any more money. I feel good where we're at, and I've also been nominated to be, I think it's vice chair of the COG board. So that's about all I got. There is and hopefully Commissioner Sterrett will touch on this a little bit more in depth, but there is, if you guys get a time or if anybody's listening, there is a comments for the FFA funding coming up through the state legislature. Please go find that and see if you can't submit some comments in support of that, because that is very, very important for our younger youth in the community. So with that, I'm going to call that good for me. Commissioner King, you want to go now?
To that point, Commissioner Johnson, if you had a letter jointly that you wanted to put together, I would be happy to take a look at it. Also happy to do it independently.
Go ahead and do it independently for now, and then let's look at timing to see what it looks like to bring one. Or maybe Commissioner Sterrett knows a little bit more on it.
Okay. Yeah, same as Commissioner Johnson. I'll keep this short. Most of my meetings either canceled because of illnesses or weather. So, and to that note, a huge shout out to our public works. I know that they are working real hard right now. Ditches and trees and power lines, all sorts of things. So thank you guys, and I hope you can get warm soon. The one thing I will note is that I had a great meeting with Unidos and the sheriff and Christian as well. Just trying to bridge that gap between each other and how are we, and a lot of ideas really about how we build that trust with community and that our local law enforcement really is not participating in ICE and what that looks like. And I, my hat's off to Sheriff Elliott for really coming to the table with some ideas of town halls or joint hosts with each other, things like that. So, yeah, I just would really huge shout out to Sam and Sheriff Elliott on that stuff. Other meetings revolving around TLT and those things. We're still working on that. Commissioner Johnston, hoping to have a good conversation about that in the new year. Yeah, with that, I think this is our last meeting. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all those fun things. So Commissioner Sterrett, up to you.
Okay, a couple of things. I wanted to point out that we do have some good news. I want to say especially a thank you to Christian and to our HHS Director, Lindsay Manfred, and also Marion County Council, Steve Elzinga, and Multnomah County, Bob Sinnott, and several of the others that have been working with OHA on some of the, let's say, challenges facing counties signing their behavioral health contracts. So it looks like we have reached a deal, and we will be signing those. Our local plan has also been approved. So that's all good. OHA finally made some concessions that we can live with. And I think it's really going to help counties be able to fund the services that we are required to fund and want to fund. Also had in ongoing discussions regarding the OHCS sheltering grant, which will be awarded to a regional coordinator for Yamhill County. We don't know who that's going to be. I want to express some gratitude to our community outreach service specialists who are regularly called, sometimes along with law enforcement or instead of law enforcement, for very challenging people. And a lot of folks in our youth, perhaps, most especially in our communities, who are sometimes foster children who've had lots and lots of bumps along the road. The behaviors are often very disturbing. But our community outreach service specialists and our law enforcement officers have been wonderful in dealing with those. So I want to say specifically thank you. I also want to express gratitude to our partners. When I think about, for instance, I had a meeting with Newburgh Animal Shelter, and they talked about one particular case. You might have heard about it. These guys go to the ends, literally, to try to keep an animal alive and rehome it. There was an animal, a dog, that was found wandering on Highway 18. This was during the summer. He was terribly sunburned. He had was emaciated and was dehydrated. And they brought him in, and most of the assessments were that this dog needed to be put down. And they didn't do it. They kept the dog going. And this is very emotional, but they kept the dog going. The dog is doing well. And they had a second look at his chip, and they found his owner who had lost him 12 years ago. This dog had been wandering for 12 years, terrible, terrible shape. But in his senior years, he found his owner again. And so I want to say thank you to Newburgh Animal Shelter, who are our kenneling partners, and they do wonderful work. So if you have a few extra dollars and maybe you want to make a donation in the name of somebody who has way too much stuff for Christmas, do that. also want to ask you to consider the mission. We've never reached out to the Gospel Rescue Mission, that they have not been able to step up and tell us we'll get somebody in tonight. I've not seen that before with any of our other partners. So thank you to the mission, and likewise, if you can cut them a check this time of year, they would appreciate it. Want to say thank you to our staff, to our employees. I know that we have some very dedicated staff. It just sometimes amazes me how they keep going. Ken, I want to thank you for the long hours that you put in. Christian, there have been a lot of challenges. There continue to be a lot of challenges. Bailey amazes me. Carolina, just the rock for all of us. And now we have Caleb joining us. And if I'm leaving anyone out, I'm sorry, but you guys do a wonderful job, and we do appreciate you. I also want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and hope that we can take some time to recognize the birth of Jesus and hopefully garner some of the peace that comes along with the gospel. So thank you all for what you do, and have a Merry Christmas.
Ditto to that. Merry Christmas, everybody. I think that wraps us up. I'm going to close this out at 10:27. I got to be careful because my phone says 1:27.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.